as it is a chemical alternation of a drug. It is a chemical alternation of a drug inside the body of a living organism, that is called as drug metabolism. Okay, so in the last lecture we had learned that drug absorption. Okay, you know that when you take the drug, okay, there are four processes are there. First, your drug is absorbed in your body. First step is absorption of a drug. So this absorption means the process of getting drug from its dosage form into the body is called as drug absorption. Okay, so it is one of the process of getting drug from its dosage form into the body, that is called as drug absorption. Okay, so again in the last lecture we had learned there are some factors which are responsible for drug absorption. Okay, so there are some factors are there, that is solubility of a drug in water or fat. So solubility of drug in fat is called as liposolubility. So this solubility of a drug in water or fat, it depends on the presence of hydrophilic as well as hydrophobic group. Okay, so your drug having hydrophilic as well as hydrophobic group. So hydrophilic group means like OH, NH2, COH group. This group is called as hydrophilic group. Okay, and the normal CH2 CH2, okay, the hydrocarbon chain is called as hydrophobic group. Okay, so this the presence of solubility, the presence of this hydrophilic and hydrophobic group. Okay, so if your drug having hydrophilic group, if your drug having hydrophilic group, so the drug that having hydrophilic group, that drug will soluble in water. Okay, due to solvation process. And if your drug having hydrophobic group, that drug will soluble in fat. So this is first factor. Then the second factor is crystalline and salt form of the drug. So in that we had taken one example, that is codeine phosphate and codeine sulfate. So codeine phosphate, it is more easily absorbed than its codeine sulfate form. Then the next point that affect the drug absorption, that is the particle size of the drug. So you know that when you reduce the particle size of the drug, okay, its potency increases. For example, Disprin and aspirin. So this Disprin, it is available in its microfine form, so it is more easily absorbed than aspirin. Then the next factor is the rate of disintegration of drug in gastrointestinal lumen. So this depend on the mobility of a drug. It depends on the presence of some functional group, that is your acid functional group COH, basic functional group NH2, ester and amide. So so the drug that having basic functional group or the basic drug. Okay, so the basic drugs are easily absorbed in a stomach, because in stomach the pH, it is in acidic range, that is 1 to 6. And the acidic drugs are absorbed in intestine, because in intestine the pH, it is in a basic range, that is 8 to 12. So this is the what depend on your presence of functional group. uh, the drugs are absorbed in a intestine as well as your stomach. Then the next factor is the dosage of the drug. So the higher dosage of the drug, it result in higher concentration of uh, drug in your body. Okay, and if the higher concentration of drug in your body present, then it increases the absorption also, but this higher concentration of the drug, it result in sometime undesirable side effect. So these are the points that we had covered in the last lecture. Again, in the last lecture we had learned the this what how this drug absorb in your body. Okay, so there are two types of process are there, or the method are there, that is called as simple diffusion. So that is called as simple diffusion or passive diffusion. Then it is also called as direct one, and another one is indirect one. Okay, so in this first method, what happen, the drug molecule, it directly enters into the pores of your cell or biological membrane. This method, it is called as simple or passive diffusion. For example, the compound like urea, then alcohol, these two types of compound are absorbed by simple diffusion. Okay, then the second one is your indirect process of absorption. So this indirect process of absorption, it is more rapid than simple diffusion. It is more rapid than simple diffusion. So in this case, in this method, what happen, your drug molecule combine with carrier molecule. Your molecule combine with carrier molecule, and it diffuses or it enters through the cell or biological membrane. On the other side of that biological membrane, that complex break into drug and carrier molecule return to its original site, and the process is repeated. Okay, so for example, your amino acids, electrolytes such as sodium and potassium, and some heterocyclic cyclic compounds, glucose, these compounds are absorbed by this method. So this is about what we had learned in the last lecture. So students, today I am going to teach you the drug distribution. Okay, so once you are taking the drug, the first step is absorption of the drug, then second step is drug distribution. Once that drug is absorbed in your body, then it distributed in your body where the action is required, or where the desired site of action is there. Okay, so after the drug absorption, it reaches into the blood. Okay, so finally, after that, it reaches to the required site of action for expected biological effect. Once your drug is absorbed in your body, it reaches the blood and finally to the required site of action for the expected biological effect, to show its biological action. So this drug distribution, it depend on rate at which it leaves the site of administration. So this drug distribution rate, it depend on how fastly it leaves the site of administration and extent to which it reaches the desired site of action. So this drug distribution, it depend on two factors, that is how fastly it leaves the site of administration, then second one is how fastly or the extent to which it reaches the desired site of action. So this distribution of drug to various tissues of the body across the various membrane. Okay, so this drug distribution involves the passing of the drug to various tissues of the body and various membranes. Okay, so it depend on the physiochemical properties of the drug and also on some physiological factor. Okay, so when your drug enters in your body, first is absorbed and second is it distributed. So this, during this drug distribution, okay, your body having different types of tissue layers are there, different membranes are there. Okay, so this distribution of the drug, it depends on the physiochemical properties of the drug, and it also depend on some physiological factors. So this distribution of drug is also related to fat water partition coefficient. This distribution of drug is also related to fat water partition coefficient of the drug. So you know that the drug supplied the blood supply to the fat is limited. The blood supply to the fat is limited. Hence, equilibrium occurs slowly, and the drug with high fat water partition coefficient, the drug with high fat water partition coefficient tend to accumulate in the fat and other tissues. So the drug which having higher fat water partition coefficient, that drug will accumulate in fat and other tissue. So what happen is that the drug that having high fat water partition coefficient, it required higher amount of doses of that drug, because what some amount of drug is accumulated in fat, okay, so it required high amount of doses of drug to show its action, or to reach that drug to required site of action. So this, the extent and site of accumulation can influence the potency and duration action of the drug. For example, if the site of action is tissue for which the drug affinity is high, so only low level of drugs are enough for required therapeutic response. For example, in case your site of action is tissue, okay, so for tissue, the drug affinity is very high, as compared to fat, okay, so tissue absorb the drug, the drug affinity is very high. So you know that the tissue having high drug affinity, okay, so it means that only few drugs or low amount of drugs level are required to show the therapeutic response. And in let's take another example. For example, your drug accumulate far away from site of action. If your drug accumulate far away from site of action, the high level of drugs are required for therapeutic efficiency or therapeutic effect. If your drug accumulate in your fat, okay, and the site of action is far away, so to reach that drug to that site of action, it require high amount of drug, required high amount or high dosage of the drug to show its therapeutic efficiency. So this drug distribution may be limited due to factors such as lower lipid solubility. So acidic drug bind to plasma protein and basic drug binds to glycoprotein. After the drug absorbed into the bloodstream, it may go into intestinal and cellular fluids. It was found that the heart, liver, brain receive more, it receive drug more rapidly, whereas muscle, skin and fat, it receive the drug much later. So it was found that the drugs are easily absorbed in bloodstream, okay, then it goes into intestinal and cellular fluid. It was found that the heart, liver and brain receive the drug more rapidly. Heart, brain and your liver receive the drug more rapidly, whereas skin, fat and muscle receive the drug much later or in a slower process. So the duration action of the short acting drug is mainly influenced by the rate of distribution rather than the metabolism or excretion. So the drug having short duration action, okay, this type of drug, it is influenced by the rate of distribution rather than metabolism or excretion, so once your drug is absorbed, then the distribution takes place. It goes to where the action is required. That drug reaches where the action is required. The next step is biotransformation. Once your drug is distributed, the next step is biotransformation of the drug, okay. So sometime you are taking the drug in a inactive form. Okay, so when that drug reaches to the required site of action, the biotransformation of that drug takes place. The biotransformation of that drug takes place, and after the biotransformation, you will get the active form of the drug. You will get the active form of the drug, and that active form of the drug is actually having the capacity to show its physiological or biological response. It shows its biological response. So the drug molecule which is administered may not exhibit the physiological action. The drug which administered may not exhibit the physiological action in its original form itself. Hence it undergoes biotransformation. To give metabolite which will be their active form of the drug. The biotransformation may result in less active form of the drug. So because of this biotransformation, there may be some problem. It will give a less active drug, or this activity may altogether deactivated, or the activity may be deactivated. So whatever the drug you are taking, okay, it will not show the physiological action in its original form. Hence that drug undergoes biotransformation to give metabolite, and which will be the active form of the drug. Okay, sometime you are taking the prodrug, that is inactive form of the drug. So in your body, okay, it undergoes biotransformation. So there are some parts of your body are there, or where there are some sites are there for metabolism, where the metabolism takes place, or by this biotransformation takes place. For example, this biotransformation takes place in a liver, stomach, intestine, kidneys, and even in lungs. So these are the site where this biotransformation takes place. So however, the most of the drugs are metabolized in liver, in presence of enzyme present in the liver cell. So most of the drugs are metabolized in the liver, because liver having different types of enzyme. Okay, and because of that enzyme are responsible for the biotransformation of the drug. So there are some factors. The metabolism depend on the number of factors, such as there are some factors which are which affect this biotransformation. First one is different genetic species. Different genetic species have different enzyme. Which can cause qualitative and quantitative differences in metabolism. So different genetic species have different enzyme, okay, and that may cause the qualitative or quantitative differences in metabolism. This is the first factor which is responsible for metabolism, affect the metabolism. Then second one is the physiological factors such as age, sex, and pregnancy, etc. It affects the efficiency of the enzyme which cause change in the metabolism. So these are some physiological factors. Okay, age, the pregnancy. So it affects the enzyme which cause change in the metabolism. Then the dosage form and route of administration and frequency of administration of the drug can also influence the metabolic profile. So dosage of the drug, by which route you are taking the drug, that is route of administration, and dosage form, and the frequency of administration, or you can say that time interval between the two dosage. Okay, so it can also influence the metabolic profile, or it can also affect or metabolism or biotransformation of drug. Then fourth one is what happen after prolonged time? After prolonged time, the drug may induce change in the enzyme itself. Drug may induce what? Change in the enzyme itself, which will subsequently affect the metabolism of the drug. Okay, so after prolonged use of the drug, the drug what is do that drug? That drug induces the change in the enzyme itself. It directly change the enzyme, and which will change the metabolism of the drug, which will change the metabolism of the drug. Thus they can stimulate or inhibit the metabolism by affecting the liver enzyme. So this is about your biotransformation. There are some these are some factors, the metabolism or the biotransformation depend on this factor. The first one is different genetic species have different enzyme which can cause the qualitative or quantitative differences in metabolism. The physiological factors such as age, sex, and pregnancy affect the efficiency of the enzyme, which cause the change in the metabolism. Then dosage form, route of administration, time interval between the two dosage of the drug can also influence the metabolic profile. After prolonged dosage, the drug may induce change in the enzyme itself, which will subsequently affect the metabolism of the drug. Thus, they can stimulate or inhibit the drug metabolism by affecting the liver enzyme. Now, the last step is once your drug absorbed, it distributed, the biotransformation takes place. The next step is excretion of a drug. Excretion of a drug. So after biotransformation, it gives active metabolite. After biotransformation, it gives active metabolite. That active metabolite is responsible for physiological action. So this active metabolite, it exhibits the desired physiological or biological effect. It exhibits or it shows desired physiological or biological effect on particular site or where the action is required. So after performing its action, after the performing its action of that metabolite or the active form of the drug in the original form or its metabolite has to be excreted or has to be expelled out from the body. So the presence of this drug fragment, what happens sometimes, the drug fragment remain in your body. So the presence of this drug fragment or the active metabolite in your body after prolonged time, it may causes the toxicity or undesirable side effect. It may causes the toxicity or undesirable side effect. So this biotransformation introduces polar functional group. After the biotransformation, it introduces polar functional group in the molecule. Hence, drug or the metabolite will be more polar than the parent drug. Okay, so after biotransformation by enzyme, okay, it introduces the polar functional group like OH, NH2, COH. It introduces polar functional group in that drug molecule. Hence, your drug molecule, it is more polar than the parent one. Your drug molecule is more polar than the parent one. Hence, it can be easily excreted by kidney efficiently. So due to the polar nature of the drug, it can be easily expelled out by your kidney due to the polar nature of that metabolite. So thus the lipid soluble drug persists in the system and they are eliminated only after they are converted into polar compound. So the lipid soluble drug persists in the system. So whatever the drugs which having liposolubility, they remain in the system and they are eliminated once they are converted into polar compound. once they are converted into polar compound. So the after the drug biotransformation, it gives the active metabolite which exhibit or which shows the expected biological effect or physiological effect. So once your drug perform its action in its original form or its metabolite, it should be excreted. So the presence of this drug in your body, or the presence of fragment of that drug in your body, it result in the undesirable side effect or toxicity. You know that after biotransformation, it introduces polar functional group in the molecule, and hence the drug or the metabolite will be more polar than the parent one. So it is easy for your kidney to expel out that polar compound, and some drugs are absorbed in a lipid. Okay, so the lipid soluble drugs are remain in the system, and they are eliminated only after they are converted into polar compound. Now there are some routes are there. There are some routes are there by which your drug can be excreted. That is your renal excretion, then biliary excretion, through the lungs, through the intestine, through the skin, and through the milk. So in renal excretion, this involves a process such as passive glomerulation, filtration, active tubular secretion, and passive diffusion across the membrane of nephrons in the kidney. So the drug is the drug is excreted by, this is one of the method by, this is one of the what you can say that uh, route by which your drug can be excreted. So excretion of the drug by kidney involves the elimination of water soluble drug and biotransformation. So whatever the water soluble drugs are there or the metabolites are there, it can be eliminated through this renal excretion. The kidney filters about 150 liters of plasma fluid per day, out of which 1% are excreted as a urine, and the rest is reabsorbed, which contains the drug with high lipid water partition coefficient, and that it bounds to plasma protein. So on an average, 150 liters of plasma fluid per day, out of which 1% is excreted as a urine, and rest is reabsorbed, which contains the drug with high lipid water partition coefficient and drug bound plasma protein. The polar compounds ion with less lipid solubility are excreted. Elimination of weak organic acid or bases, it depends on the pH of urine. pH of plasma at beginning is 7.4, and pH of urine is around 4.5 to 8. So this is about renal. Then biliary secretion, and through the lungs it can also, drugs can be excreted through the lungs also. So during inhalation cycle of breathing, CO2 and other gaseous impurities are excreted. Thus the volatile compound like alcohol, general anesthetics, formaldehyde, and gaseous inhalants are eliminated through the lungs. So during exhalation, what happen during exhalation cycles, breathing, CO2 and other gaseous impurities are excreted. The volatile compounds like alcohol, your general anesthetics, and formaldehyde and gaseous inhalants are eliminated through the lungs. Then some it can also excrete through the intestine. So the insoluble products and heavy metals residue are eliminated through the intestine. So this purgatives like is Epsom salt like Epsom salt MgSO4 7H2O. This is called as Epsom salt MgSO4 7H2O. Milk of magnesia Mg in bracket OH2 magnesium hydroxide, milk of magnesia, as well as antacid like AlOH3 are eliminated through the intestine. So these are the some compounds which are eliminated through intestine, that is Epsom salt MgSO4 7H2O, milk of magnesia MgOH2, as well as antacid like AlOH3 are eliminated through the intestine. Then some compounds are eliminated through the skin. The skin is sensory organ covering largest area of the body. Hence, it is one of the important route for the excretion of drug and foreign bodies through the pores of the skin along with sweat. The ammonia, the ammonium and sodium salt, urea and metalloids like arsenic and lead are excreted through this route. So these are some names of the compound: ammonium and sodium salt, urea, metalloids like arsenic and lead are excreted through the skin. So these are the different types of routes of excretion of a drug are there. Okay, so we had learned drug distribution, then biotransformation, then excretion of a drug. So when you take the drug, first step it is absorbed, then second one it is distributed. Once your drug is distributed, the next step is the biotransformation of the drug. So sometimes you are taking the inactive form of the drug. So in this biotransformation, what happened, that inactive form of the drug or prodrug converted into active form of the drug. It convert to active form of the drug. So the drug molecule which is administered may not exhibit the physiological or biological effect in its original form. To show the physiological effect, it has to undergoes metabolism or biotransformation to give active form of the drug, or to give that active form of the drug, and that active form of the drug have capacity to show that desired physiological action. So this metabolism takes place in this biotransformation of the drug takes place in liver, stomach, intestine and kidneys, and even in lungs. But the maximum amount of drugs are absorbed in a liver, because in liver you are having different types of enzyme are there, different enzyme system present in the liver cell. So this metabolism depend on the numerous factors. So the metabolism of the drug depend on the numerous factor. First one is the genetic species. Different genetic species have a different enzyme. Then the yes, नहीं screen share नहीं हो रहा है. Okay, so physiological factors such as age, sex and pregnancy, it also affect the metabolism of a drug. Then the route of administration, dosage form, and the time interval between the two dosage, it also affect the metabolic process or metabolic profile. Then after prolonged use, what happen, the drug itself may induce, or it may the drug may responsible for the change in the enzyme itself. Drug can change the function of the enzyme itself. Okay, so because of that change in the enzyme, which will subsequently affect the metabolism of the drug, thus it can stimulate the, or it can inhibit the metabolism by affecting the liver enzyme. So these are the some factors are there which affect the metabolism. Then excretion, once your drug is show its action, it is necessary to remove or to expel out that drug from your body. If the fragment of that drug present in your body, that may causes the undesirable side effect or toxicity, so it is necessary to remove that drug or to expel out that, or to excrete that drug from your body. So you know that your after biotransformation, uh, it gives the polar functional group, or it introduces the polar functional group in your drug, and which is easy for kidney to excrete that drug, because your drug is more polar than the parent drug. So the drug which having polar functional group, it can be easily excreted through your kidneys. Then we had learned the different routes of administration: renal, biliary, through the lungs, through intestine, skin, and milk. So any doubt regarding this? Yes.